Hey everybody, Jason here for RPGA Day 2019. Day and word prompt number 27, and that is suspense. Suspense. These last couple of word prompts have been tough for me. Yawning as if I didn't drink 3 cups of coffee today and a bottle of Mountain Dew. Right. And it's either a sugar crash or just not enough caffeine. I don't know. Or maybe caffeine doesn't do anything. So suspense. Suspense for me is kind of like scary. That other word we had a while back. I don't know when that was. Although suspense, I think, is a little easier to put into games than fear or scary is. Because I think suspense is like a style of storytelling rather than an emotion that you bring out in a player or a character. Suspense can make somebody feel fear or be scared, but that's not the nature. It's not like the one thing that will always bring out that specific emotion. Suspense, I think, can be good in a game, especially like, for example, if you make your dice rolls behind a screen. I generally don't use a GM screen. I generally don't game master for that matter. Unfortunately, that's going to be changing here in the next few months, which is cool. I'm ready to take on that responsibility. But suspense is one of those things where you can do that a number of different ways. Whether it's rolling your dice behind a screen, but being honest about it, not fudging the dice or anything, but rolling your dice behind the screen so your players can't see them. And then once you reveal the results, there's a little bit of suspense there. Or building up a story arc or something, and there's a big reveal or something. Excuse me, I'm sorry. There's a big reveal or something at the end, but other little things keep happening to prolong and stall that reveal. Things like that. Another way I think you could provide suspense for your players is, and this is something I've talked about before, so this is nothing new as far as coming out of my mouth anyway, things that your players would not know, such as if they try to tell a lie or bribe to a guard or make a stealth roll or something like that, or gauging someone's motives or something. Instead of having the player roll that die and knowing, oh, I rolled a 17 plus my modifier of plus 6. Oh, I know for sure I more than likely I pretty much got that roll, or that's a guarantee. Or I rolled a 20, of course I would know what it is. That's an automatic success. If you make those rolls behind the screen so the players can't see what you roll, that could be suspenseful, because they don't know if the NPC is lying. You could say to them, well, you feel like they're telling the truth, or you feel like they're lying, but that doesn't mean that that's true based on the roll. That is true based on, one, they could roll that you could roll a success for something like them trying to tell if someone is lying. You could roll a success, but it just barely succeeds. So you can narrate that as, well, you feel like they're telling the truth, or it seems like they're telling the truth. Or if you roll a natural 20, you could say, you're pretty sure that they're telling the truth. You're almost positive that someone's telling the truth. You'd be willing to bet money on it. There's different levels of success, or degrees of success, that you can narrate based on how well you roll. But you making certain dice rolls can build the suspense for other players because they don't know the real results. They're just, going off what you describe. And that takes a lot of faith from the players in the Game Master, and to be honest and truthful and not just fudge the dice behind the screen, which you could do obviously, but that's kind of railroading your players or manipulating the players, which is not. Personally, I don't feel like that's a good thing, regardless of why you do it. But there's, like I said, there's different ways of building suspense in your game without necessarily manipulating or guiding players. It could be, like I said, from those dice rolls to anything to having different, like say your party or your group, you split the party, or your players decide to split the party, and you're at a moment where it's starting to get tense in a role-playing scene, or you're about to open the door to something that the characters finally get it unlocked, and they're like, we've been going through this castle for ever now, and we got to the dungeon and we found this really strange door that is etched with all these weird markings that no one can read, no one can understand, and it was locked. And we picked the lock. We disarmed the trap, and we're about to open this door and see what's behind here. And then you cut to another scene and take care of that. Well, that leaves the players hanging and suspenseful and wanting more on that scene, that spot. So there's a lot of ways of to build up suspense, I guess, in games. And I think that is one of the things that you don't want to overdo it, because then it can be too expected, or oh, well, we found a cool door, I guess here in about another round or two, or whenever we get unlocked, he's going to switch scenes, a big surprise. But if you do it sparingly, I think there are a lot of ways to make suspense truly suspenseful and mean something emotionally to the characters and your players. But anyway, that was Suspense for RPG A Day 2019. And thanks for watching. And leave some comments below, do some video responses. I know I say that, I don't think I've seen any yet. But I'm going to keep saying it until you guys do it or don't do it. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.